Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Deal or No Deal Island, Season 2, Episode 8, titled Safety in Numbers. Last week on Dondi, after Letty captained a win in a team daily challenge, she chose David to face the banker, and when David made a good deal, he sent Dr. Will back to his practice. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist where you can catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. My videos aren't meant to replace the original content, so if you missed the episode, I encourage you to seek it out on Peacock to form your own opinion first. But let's dive into it. Following Dr. Will's departure, the players return to their camp. The family alliance is thrilled to bits, but Letty is shook and feeling alone in the game. The next day, Letty gets to work, flirting with Dixon. Dixon admits that it's working on him, and he thinks it might even be real flirting coming from Letty. Lachelle makes an appearance on the show. She's playing the social game, telling Parvati about the guys she dated. Then Philip finally pulls Parvati for the talk, and he tells her that when she brought up his bullies in middle school, he felt it was disgusting. He accuses Parvati of using his trauma against him. Parvati tears up and genuinely apologizes. Philip isn't having it and tells us that Parvati has no integrity. Philip thinks he's gonna turn Parvati's fans against her with this. You're mistaken, my guy. She's the only reason I'm watching this. They show up to the challenge at the banker's hiking trail, where I'm convinced that Joe is wearing an extra small muumuu as a shirt. In their challenge, they'll start a hike as a unit, collecting cases as they go. Along the way, they'll encounter obstacles where they need to cut loose their liabilities, eliminating each other throughout the challenge. They'll have 45 minutes to complete this, and if they complete it in time, they'll get the $2.5 million case as the highest value case at Temple. In the end, the two highest value case holders will be safe. The highest case holder will be in charge of who faces the banker between the at-risk players. They get started hiking up a hill to their first obstacle, where they're told they need to vote out basically the two most cowardly players. CK pushes Letty's name, which the group agrees with because Letty's won the last 3 challenges, but Dixon defends Letty and sacrifices himself to be eliminated from the challenge as well. Dixon and Letty take their sorry cases and have a little loser bonding moment. The remaining 5 players get to a well full of iguanas. They need to climb down and retrieve a case. This is horrific. Parvati says it's like Jurassic Park, and David gives us a clever girl for good measure. Philip is terrified, but everyone else runs through it. Next, they're told that only 3 of them can continue to hang out together. Parvati leads the group in voting out Philip, which makes him feel like her earlier apology was fake, and they vote out CK as well. When Philip and CK join the losers, Joe offers the 4 losers a deal. He says that out of the 4 of them, they can choose 1 player to be at risk. If 3 of them can agree to be safe, they'll send the other player into the bottom 2 with the next player who's eliminated from the challenge. Philip, CK, and Letty all agree to put Dixon at risk, so they'll all be safe this week. The remaining 3 players have to traverse ropes over wavy rocks, but first they have to pick 1 more player to eliminate. David and Parvati obviously eliminate Lachelle, which she's cool with. Lachelle joins the other losers and Joe. David and Parvati complete their task, looking really cool doing it, and return to Joe with time to spare, earning the $2.5 million case for the Temple game. The show makes it seem like there were 2 seconds left on the clock, but we can clearly see a very full hourglass next to Joe. I am tired of these shows lying to us about the nick of time finish. The players reveal their cases. Most of them don't matter. As the top 2, Parvati and David will be safe this week, and Parvati has the highest value case, so she's in charge for the week. The group is told that Dixon and Lachelle will be the bottom 2 and are at risk due to the ultimatum. They should have given them this ultimatum after Lachelle got back. So winner Parvati has to decide between her son Dixon and Lachelle who will face the banker. When they strategize, Dixon is annoyed that Parvati isn't letting him decide his own fate since he's in the family, but Parvati feels like she owes Lachelle something after promising her safety in the daily challenge. Lachelle mischievously tells us she wants to face the banker, send Dixon home, and take Dixon's place as Parvati's daughter. Dixon tells David that he never had a real dad in real life, and that David is basically the closest thing he's ever had to a dad, which makes David really emotional. David tells Parvati they have to protect their son Dixon. So they head to the temple, where Joe is wearing a gorgeous stylistic flowered top and brown loafers that actually look nice. After a performative mock crowning from Joe, Parvati chooses Lachelle to face the banker. Both Lachelle and Dixon are annoyed by this, but truly does it even matter? Lachelle picks case number 10, dedicated to her sons, and she gets started, having a middling first round. Her first offer is $240,000 and a 50-50 chance at going home. Easy no-deal decision here, and she does her no-deal dance. Her second round is a mixed bag too, getting a $725,000 offer and 50-50 odds again. It's a no deal from Lachelle dog. Round 3 sees her get a low value case off the board, which would be good on regular deal or no deal, but on Dondi it means you probably go home. She gets offered $1,558,000 and a 2/3 chance of going home. Lachelle calls herself dope and takes the deal, adding that money to the pot. Lachelle reveals her case contains $1,750,000, so she made a bad deal and will be going home. So we have to say goodbye to Lachelle here, who I really thought might have been the hidden winner, with her getting a few confessionals in the premiere talking about how she's a social worker. I really felt like she was gonna finesse it, but she ended up being quiet for a few episodes, and I knew the moment she was getting confessionals out of the blue this episode episode that this was her time. I am perplexed by her decision here. Why take the deal with such terrible odds of staying in the game when you likely have more in your case than the offer? Overall, I found Lachelle to be a really passive player who consistently accepted bad things to happen to her. She seems like a nice person, but way too nice for a cutthroat reality TV competition. As a whole, this episode would have been way better without the ultimatum offer that Joe gave the losers. They completely screwed Lachelle out of the game, and it really feels like the show had just seen enough of Lachelle and found a quick, convenient opportunity to throw a twist in while she wasn't there to basically write her off the show. It's also insane that Parvati has won safety every week for 8 weeks in a row. I would call that rigged, but there were multiple times where she could have not won. She's just crushing it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out, but I'm really worried for Parvati when she's at risk. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of Parvati's win and Lachelle's departure? If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next week with more Deal or No Deal Island, and later this week for the Challenge All-Stars, Survivor 48, and the Traders. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye!